That's my guitar gang symbol, man. Don't tell that shit to nobody, man. It's a fraternity of guitar people, man. I'm not gonna ever do it again. But if you learn how to do it and you see me in the street, man, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, cool, man. Cool. But don't do it in front of anybody else, man. Unless you're practicing with another Guitkit fan. Cool. Anyway, so welcome. You know what I'm saying? The fall's lovely, isn't it? I'm so delighted to be a little bit cooler, a little bit cool-headeder. Just a little bit more relaxed, you know what I'm saying? Fall's when we all get to work in our minds. Physically get to work is another story. So let's physically get to work on this beautiful instrument. Now, a little story to tell. Because I got a story to tell. If I didn't have a story to tell about the guitar, it would just remain in stack with the rest of them. Because I got a lot of guitars sitting around. Right? That's the way I roll. Anyway, I was at the Columbus Flea Market, you know, about a year ago, something like that. And I didn't get any guitars that day. It was a really slow day. I was almost, you know what I mean, upset that I went there. And there was tables out the back, you know what I'm saying? And on one of the tables was a guitar that was in horrible, horrible, horrible condition. It was in terrible condition, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things like the fretboard was like missing half the fretboard, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about frets, I'm talking about fretboards. Half of it was missing. You know, tuners were all broken off of it, you know what I mean? It was just wrong, you know what I mean? The one thing that was left on it was the badge that said Conqueror on there. You know what I mean? There was a piece of wood missing out the back. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have got the guitar for $5, man. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, you know what I mean, trying to save my money at the time. You know what I mean? Because money doesn't grow on trees. No, no, no. Otherwise, I'd be out in the yard right now. I wouldn't be fucking with this dumbass video shit, man. I'd be picking shit up like a goddamn fucking rape, man. Trust me, I would. Definitely be doing that. But, alas, I digress, man. So, I didn't get the guitar, man. You know what I mean? I thought about it, though, when I was in my car driving home. I was like, yeah, could have just fucking given them $5 and walked away. That thing's a parts guitar, right? I wasted all that gas coming out of this motherfucker, you know what I mean? All this time and all this hope. And then that sort of like set off like a negative streak in my mind, man. That incident, man. I didn't have no Conqueror guitar. This was my first opportunity to Conqueror guitar, man. I blew it, man. I blew it, man. For like a month went by, man. Maybe 2 months went by. Maybe like, you know, 2.5 months went by, man. Maybe 3 months went by, man. A long time went by. I kept going flea market after flea market. You know what I mean? Looking, hey, man, you got any guitars, man? Just a little tiny taste. A ukulele or something, man. Please, please. Fucking dulcimer. Nobody had nothing for me, man. Fucking freak, get out of here. This is a clean person's flea market. Get the fuck out of here, freak. Don't you see I have children with me? This was a bad scene, man. Bad scene. And so one day, you know what I mean, I was at the flea market. I was walking with my cane real slowly. I see the table almost glowing. Same guitar. The same exact model. In almost okay condition. And then, you know what I mean? The bad streak was broken, man. You know what I'm saying? Skies were blue. Sun was warm. Days were gray. Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Doris Day in a flowing dress on top of a hill, bro. Shit was good. And this was the same exact model with had the fretboard missing and all the things broken off and shit, man. This one has barely anything wrong with it. Now let me talk to you a little bit about Conqueror, man. Conqueror was a brand name used by Charles Bruno, man. Who's he? Bruno was a German immigrant to the United States around 1830, I believe. He moved down south to Georgia. He was down in Georgia. He's like, I do not like this very much at all. So he went up to New York City And he started like a bookshop, I believe, right? Selling books. Man, some guy that kept like, coming in there every day. Another German, I've got some wares that I would like to sell with you in your bookshop. This guy was C.F. Martin, right? So Bruno and Martin, you know what I mean? We're together again. They're all hanging out hand in hand, walking together. They're each hand in the back pocket of each other's jeans, man. Like, we are Martin and Bruno, Bruno and Martin. And then some shit went wrong, man. And it was like, I am Martin, fuck Bruno, Bruno asshole. And Bruno's like, fuck Martin, this jerk off, his father is a Nazi. All kinds of shit going on, man. So they hated each other, man. Hated each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Separate ways. So, I'm saying? Martin set up his name as the manufacturer, and Bruno set up his game as a distributor, really. You know what I'm saying? One needed a product, and one had a product to sell. And they just had to find other motherfuckers to, screw around with. That's the true horror story, man. That's the true horror story. So, let's stop talking about all this shit, because I don't really have anything else to say about Bruno. I don't have anything else to say about Conqueror. Nothing else to say about. Well, I do have a couple more things to say about Bruno. I just remembered some shit. Bruno's son, right? He was a very wealthy man. He fucking jumped off the top of his building, man. And he fell through like the skylight of the building into like the men's bathroom, and they didn't find him until like the next weekend because it was like Christmas break or some shit like that. And they came and they found this big splattered old man, fucking in like 1912. Like, I don't know what happened, man. That was Bruno's son. You know what I mean? And he did that shit right after he got the company from his father in 1912. It's weird, man. You know what I mean? And he had two young sons that were running like different departments that actually inherited the company right there. Like, well, that's weird. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Sorry, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I remember things right when I'm about to like. And now I close. I put down my pen. I flip you around and we hang out at the slab. We look at guitar better. Peace be with you. Until next time. See you on the slab. And there it is. There it is. Is it there? Yes. Yes. I heard that Jerry Lee Lewis died, man. That's right. He was the last one. He was only 87. I thought he was like 99. You know what I'm saying? I saw him play like, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I thought he was like 103 then. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. He'd be like helped on stage. He had like cataract glasses on. He still sounded like the Killer though. Rest in peace, Killer, man. Peace be with you, man. Always. So this is like an Orion mid-60s, low-end student guitar. Like a short scaler. I don't know what the scale is. I got the tape over there. I guess I could measure it, but you know what I mean? It's a short scaler. Just look at it. Look at it. It's got all flathead screws everywhere, man. Everything on this thing is all flathead, man. So this is like a, you know what I'm saying, like early kind of 65er. You know what I'm saying? Even in the gears and shit, man. Now this is the one that I'm sort of like, one gear. Because if you see, this piece just pops out, man. It doesn't pop out that further than that, but I have to investigate that. It has to be disassembled. No, disassembled. Yes. Yes. I see they replaced the tuner button, but that's, ain't alright. This is the wrong nut. I believe I have the right nut. Which luckily I got a whole bunch of them a couple years ago. And I sold some on eBay, like real cheap. What a stupid fool, man. What a stupid fool. Little piece of this is flaked off. Hey man, I'm eating all the Halloween Kit Kats still with my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling a little bit lethargic. I'm feeling ill. You know what I mean? It's post-Halloween blues, people. Other than that, man, it's a POS 60s Japanese guitar. It looks like it was either stamped Japan or maybe marked with a sticker that they just... We can't let the people know we are using the enemy's tools. You know what I'm saying? The enemy's tools. Badge is very good condition, though. Plastic badge, man. Beautiful. 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 That was the only thing that was still standing on that one over at Columbus. That started my, you know what I mean? My descent into madness. Madness, I say. So this is all I gotta say, man. I don't really have anything else to show you. I already told you what was wrong with it. I showed you what was fucking wrong with it. So let's put right what was wrong. You know what I mean? Like that Quantum Leap reboot, man. That just went wrong. I didn't have to see one episode, man. I tried not even to watch any of the trailers, man. I would turn off the channel if I saw a trailer coming on. Fuck this bullshit, man. I said, we'll see you in the laboratory. No, it's not. It's just the lab. Halloween's over, man. No more of that shit, man. We're back to Paulie, man. Hey, I told you, never come into the laboratory where we do our meetings, okay? I told you a long time ago. Not to fool with me. Oh, welcome back to the laboratory. So we got it unstrung. Pull the strings out. This guy has he has it through both holes, so it's kind of a pain in the neck to get it off, but we did it. In the name of science, people, let's unscrew this because we want to investigate this. I mean, there's always a possibility that we put a string on this and just the tension alone, you know what I mean, prevents it from being pulled out. But if it's damaged, we might want to replace it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's not pretty as it is. And if it's not functional, then we're wasting our time. We're going to have to take it off anyway. Right? So let's unscrew that and investigate. Dun dun dun! So it looks like after wrangling with this terrible thing getting off, because all the screws are completely rusted, horribly. So they're not even really screws anymore. They're just sort of like nails. Little brads, man. Looks like we didn't even have to do that. We could have just tightened this. Although we do have to put it back in a gear. It looks like that little eyelet that goes into the gear was not seated properly. So let's see if we can just fix it that way. If not, we'll continue with this nonsense. See you in a minute. So there it is. A little bit of wrangling to reseat that gear. We got it in there. We got it in there nice and tight. Put a little bit of crazy glue in all the holes to rehabilitate that rotten wood. And screw back in there, man. Nice and correct, man. You know what I'm saying? Only a weird looking tuner button. You know what I mean? That's been there for, I don't know, 30, 40 years. So let's talk about this nut, man. We know this nut is too small, man. See, it's just too small, man. It's actually not only too small, but it's not even tall enough, really. The strings aren't getting clearance. They're damaging the headstock. They're damaging a little bit of the rosewood fretboard, even. See that? So it's using the fretboard more as a nut than the actual nut. This is too small. Now, the one that I have that's the actual correct, you know what I mean? This one's a little bit taller, you can see, than that one. And it's actually the correct length, but it's even shorter, you know what I mean? Even shorter. So what we're going to do, right, we're just going to lean this guy on here, on the edge. Right, we're going to make him a little booster seat out of a popsicle stick that's almost the same color as him. Right, we're going to take a mechanical pencil. That one right here, like a nice one like this. We're going to trace that and take a very sharp pair of scissors. You know what I mean? We're just going to cut it out. A little booster seat, man. I'll see you when it's all ready. Or as they say in some parts, ret. On your mark, you set, go. And there it is. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? Just almost perfect, you know? A little bit of sanding on the edges. It's like a perfect little booster seat. And it brings it to the right height. You know what I'm saying? The right height. It's going to clear the fretboard. It's to clear the headstock. Hopefully it's going to be where it needs to be. So we're going to take some crazy glue and attach this wood piece to the bottom of this. And then we're going to, in turn, attach to the guitar with tight bond. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to clamp it. So I'll see you when we're all clamped it. Clamp it, Deb Nebbit. See you in a minute. So we've had it clamped for quite a few hours. Slide right off, man. Looks good, man. So it looks like we have a G string. But look at my G string, man.
Look like we have that in the A position, so we're going to want to take that guy off, put him where he belongs, right? We're going to want to, these all strung up again. Got a bunch of strings out of the junk pile from the 60s. Definitely old strings. Let's see, just string it up. Before we do that, we'll give a little bit of furniture polish. Frets look good. I don't really care about doing a fret job on this guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get these guys off. These are just like stickers, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess with anything that I don't have to mess with, you know what I'm saying? Go around the edges here with like furniture marker, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Short episode. I'll see you at the glamour shots, man. We got all strung up correctly. And peace be with us all. And there it is. You know, the last couple acoustic guitars we had before Electric October were kind of disappointments. You know what I'm saying? I guess so. I mean, I don't really remember that well what we had, but I remember being kind of disappointed. Some of the guitars during Electric October were disappointments. Can't all be winners. This is like the student model, I guess, for Conqueror, for the old Bruno land, man. Sometimes they call it the steel reinforced neck model. You know what I mean? The base model. Now it's like a pretty good example of it. I put some old 60 strings on it. You know what I'm saying? It actually sounds gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful sounding guitar. There is no radius on the fretboard at all, but I mean, I don't really think that this was, since it is steel reinforced neck, meant to be a classical guitar, but it sounds great. Set up as a classical guitar. It's got the original bridge. It's got the original tailpiece. You can see this still has, if you look real carefully, it still has the plastic over it. See that? It still actually has the protective plastic over it. On that side too. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a real treat? You know what I'm saying? It's got a couple dings. A couple dangs. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, it's a real treat, and it can't be beat. Where am I going, man? Just go down. So, let's hear it. I told you it was like good sounding. I don't want to be like one of those people just like says stuff and don't demonstrate the wares, you know what I'm saying? I say it's good that you pay it till now. You have to believe and trust to me, don't you? Instead, I let you hear it, and then you can say, look after yourself. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. You cannot conquer the champion. You cannot conquer the conqueror. Conquistador. Beautiful sounding Spanish guitar. Not beautiful playing because it's only 23-inch scale. It is a beautiful little guitar though. Gorgeous, man. Spanish guitar. Locked in the hotel, and no return can change. La la la. Say we're just friends. La la la. I don't know how you taste. La 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 la. Me señorita. La la la. So damn hard to leave. La 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 la. Hey man, I wish I knew the lyrics of that song, man. I'd be down the street with like a little artistic sweater and some, Ray-Ban sunglasses, you know what I'm saying? Playing it, you know what I mean? All kinds of, fanfare. But I don't know the lyrics, so I never will. Poor me. Anyway, so the last time we talked about acoustic guitars, I was talking about Billy Joel, I was talking about Songs of the Attic record. I played that Los Angelino song, which I love. And after I was done cutting that episode, I was just sitting there playing on whatever guitar it was. I think it was Laguna or something, whatever it was. And I just started jamming on one of the other songs of that record. And I'm going to play a little piece of it right now just for you. Now we take our time. and silken road. The money comes, the money goes. We know it's all a passing phase. Hey man, I love these days, Billy. Keep washing those stubby hands. I'm sorry to bore you people, man. I'm sorry that went out of tune too, but I'm not going to reshoot it. Because I'm on a tight schedule here, people. My time is my special moments. Peace be with you. See you next time if there's next time. Happy fall to everybody here, man. Don't get falling behind, man. Don't get falling behind, man. Keep up with the tracks, man. See you real soon. See you real soon.